Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the general daily collective message for Monday, December the 19th. I'm still having some voice issues, so I do ask that you bear with me. It's in and out, it comes and it goes, but we do have some very intense energies coming through this week. Today, we do have Venus quincunx Mars at exactly 12 degrees. And we had this quincunx or inconjunct energy between Venus and Mars that last happened on November the 11th on the 1111 portal. And it's not going to happen again until November 14th of 2024. And so I do feel this is very significant. We also have Venus forming a square to Chiron today, the wounded healer, which is going to be stationing direct just 2 days before Christmas. And we also have Mars sextile Chiron. And so there's a lot of heightened energies coming through. I do want to say, be aware that if you start any new relationships at this time, it's likely that it will not last. Or if you've been trying to reach a compromise with a current partner, when this energy passes, it's kind of time to get practical, is kind of what I want to say. And so I do feel if you are in a problematic relationship already, expect arguments to arise from any dissonance between the two of you. And I do feel sexual energy is coming to the surface. So you're really going to want to find a healthy outlet for that sexual expression. You can always use that energy and channel that energy into an artistic project. You're not going to want to go out and spread your seeds all over with that energy. When we use this creative energy to the fullest extent, then we can really create something beautiful. And so the energies over the coming days, I feel, are going to be very awkward, especially with Venus square Chiron. And so it will be exact today, although it's been building up to that 0 point. And so has something ever happened to you that's really made you feel shy, hurt, or insecure, and all you wanted to do is run and hide in that little shell of yours? We can't keep running and hiding from these issues, right? And so with Chiron, the wounded healer, coming into this very tense alignment with Venus, which rules love and money, it's quite possible that over the coming days, you're going to have this feeling like you just want to hide in the shadows. And I highly recommend not running and not hiding, right? So we can't just keep going, crawling under a rock, sweeping this stuff under a rug. Although Chiron transits are not a lot of fun to deal with, there's always a silver lining when it comes to these intense energies. So there's this huge opportunity to resolve these deep wounds, especially around your sense of worthiness, your sense of self, your sense of financial successes, and especially when it comes to your relationship with love. And so sometimes we get a message when it comes to these energies, and we realize that we were in so much more pain than we ever thought, right? So Chiron is working like this in the energies over the coming days. So most of us go through feelings each day, thoughts, feelings, more or less, right? Where we feel good or we don't feel good. But Chiron is coming along before it stations direct to shine a spotlight on all of these painful emotions and these painful memories that maybe you didn't even know you were carrying around inside of you. But Chiron kind of stepping onto the scene today is coordinating some type of event in your life that will likely trigger these deep-seated wounds. Oh, I got my little Sonic tattoos on. It was my daughter's birthday party on the weekend. It's actually her 6th birthday today. So I do want to say, don't be surprised over the coming days if someone does or says something that's going to make you feel very exposed and vulnerable when it comes to some painful wounding. You might even find yourself in a very embarrassing situation in front of somebody as well. And so if this happens, I do want you to keep in mind that the Chiron energy isn't targeting you just to watch your face turn red or to make you squirm and be uncomfortable. It's about taking the most efficient energies to help you get in touch with what needs to heal in your life so you can resolve any blockages once and for all. And so Chiron's like this spiritual surgeon is what I want to say. It's going to open up a wound and it's going to hurt. It's definitely going to hurt, but it's going to help you get better. And so if you can stay observant instead of overreacting to any maybe accusations over the coming days, this can really be a time when you can heal all of these old hurts for good. And so Chiron has been in the sign of Aries, which is all about self-identity, since about 2018. And so it's not gonna entirely leave Aries until 2027. And so it's staying twice as long in the sign of Aries than it does in most other signs. And so when I think of Aries energy, I think of masculine energy. I think of motion. I think of drive. I think of bravery, being daring, finding your courage. And so while Chiron has been in Aries, we've been feeling the opposite way, right? And so sometimes it's tempting to make a decision based on bad experiences from the past and go running away from it and avoiding dealing with certain things or talking to certain people because you've already convinced yourself it's not going to turn out well. And so I think the energy is asking us to stop and wonder, are you making a true assumption? Are you believing something that's false? I think it will be easier to get to the bottom of any old pains, habits, and ways of thinking that keep you stuck in this endless cycle of feeling powerless. And so it's possible that issues concerning your home life, your family, your mother could also be a catalyst for exploring some negative expectations and emotions that you might have been holding on to, or a karmic mother-like figure. So over the coming days, you're going to be likely feeling very emotionally vulnerable than usual, more than usual. So you're going to want to be gentle with yourself. You're going to want to seek loving support from trusted people. And what I want you to ask yourself today is, what are you worth? Do you know what you are worth? Do you know your worth? Do you know your value? Because if you have found yourself continuously stopping yourself from going after what you know can bring you success, or going after an opportunity because you don't feel up to the challenge, or deep down you feel like maybe you don't deserve it, then I think you better sit and ask yourself, what are you worth? You determine your worth. Nobody else determines your worth. And so because Chiron and Aries is all about self, like I talked about, and Venus influences our sense of value and worth, there's a lot of hidden feelings of inadequacy likely rising to the surface over the coming days. And so if there's a part of you that feels like you're lacking confidence, or you're feeling awkward or insecure, maybe even about asserting yourself, there's likely going to be some type of event that's going to happen to turn up the volume on these feelings in a very big way. And so you might even find yourself making an impulsive financial decision, which later turns out that you've overextended yourself. So you're going to want to hold off on big purchases or buying things that you really don't need just to enhance your status quo or your appearance to the public. Or you're going to want to avoid any indulgences when it comes to addictions and pleasures or recreational activities. If you feel tempted to buy something extravagant, or if you feel tempted to overindulge, double check. Are you actually filling a void and trying to compensate for a lack inside of yourself when it comes to your life? Because if you start to notice imbalances within your financial life or within your romantic relationships, if you find you're the type that gives and gives and gives, but you don't feel like you ever get anything back in return when it comes to respect or recognition, now is a really good time to take a deep look as to why this keeps happening. Venus square Chiron is saying you need to notice where you feel unworthy when it comes to love and success in your life, and reclaim that sense of personal value. And I know it's easy to say, well, how do I do this? How do I do this? By feeling all of your feelings. we manifest through our feelings, right? I know, yuck, right? Feeling all of these painful feelings, and I've been there, I've done it, and it hurts. You have to drudge all of this up to the surface. And these painful feelings do not last forever. And I know it's the last thing many of us want to do is be bare naked in the depths of our traumatic emotions. But that's when true magic happens. That's when we can embrace magic, and we can embrace our divinity. When we feel all of these uncomfortable feelings, instead of pushing them away, that's when we can begin to transform our life. And so you might want to find yourself in a place of peace over the coming days, where giving yourself space to breathe away from everybody else, to feel all of these feelings in a deep and purifying way. Don't hold on to the story of what happened anymore. And the story cannot be released until all of these feelings are felt. And so you're likely going to be very much surprised at how much opens up and heals within you when you feel all of your feelings. So be extra gentle with yourself. I know the holidays can be a very difficult time for many. So if you find yourself having a rough time, maybe seek the support of a healer or a coach or a therapist to help guide you through all of these cosmic energies that are coming up now. And so as you navigate through the dark, the abyss, the deep is what I want to say, rolling in the deep, I want you to think of some famous words that Rumi spoke. The wound is the place where the light enters you. The light cannot enter unless you open up that wound. And I want you to know that you've got this. So we also have Chiron sextile Mars, and so this is going to give you the drive to work on healing all of these wounds and letting go all of this past baggage. And it will give you the energy to do so, because with Mars sextile Chiron, this is extremely driven energy to focus on the wounds, to focus on the baggage, and to do what you need to do to release anything that's been draining you energetically. And so I feel over the coming days, we're healing these spiritual battle wounds. And so you may not have been able to change in the past, and we can't go back and change the past, that's for sure, but we can absolutely review any repeated points of conflict or contention in our lives. We can go into those shrapnel wounds, and we can understand why we had to sustain them and excavate them once and for all. And so it's like this exploratory spiritual surgery kind of energy. And although you don't know exactly what you're getting into, you're going to find something very clear over the coming days if you feel all of these feelings. And so something is about to be exposed, I feel. And you're going to need to be patched up in order to get to a place of closure. And so this really is where we start this deep-seated healing journey. You have to begin to understand why things make you angry. If something makes you angry and triggers you, there's a wound below that trigger. That person pulling the trigger didn't create the wound, but they're there to open up that wound. And so really examine your reactions over the coming days when it comes to anger. Really explore these triggers and how they have been rooted in past experiences, because so often we're not really breaking up with that person. We're breaking up with a wound. And so I feel you're going to want to maintain some sense of detachment in order to keep your emotions cool enough to handle any triggers. And what I want to say is there really is nothing to fear. Fear is the absence of love. And so fear is an illusion. You might even come into some deja vu moments over the coming days as all of these cosmic energies are recalibrating you to get back to a place of healthy self-assertion, healthy self-esteem, and to go through this initiation process. And so there's going to be some very, very uncomfortable emotions over the coming days. And if you see it as negative, then it's going to create more static and chaos. If you see it as light entering into the dark, then you can proactively handle whatever it is you are being forced to change, because we're at this pivot point where we are being liberated from this stuckness, these old, outdated, stuck ways of being. But we do have to face these chronic injuries, and we do have to reform that scar tissue, and there's only so many times we can go through this, right? It's like so many times you can go through the same incision point, and so eventually the lesson's gonna stick. It's kind of like both of my daughters were C-section babies, and let me tell you, the first one was painful. It was an emergency C-section, but the second one was planned, and to go through that same incision point, it was double the recovery. And so I just feel we're like one day away from Jupiter re-entering into Aries. So it's kind of time to take action to face this and heal this all once and for all. So I did grab Jackie Sharp's Dance with Your Demons or Dance with Your Shadows Oracle deck today because of the Chiron aspect. So we're going to see what main shadow energies are coming up over the coming days with this current energy coming through, cosmically speaking. And then we're going to jump in with the tarot. So, and hopefully my voice makes it through the entire reading. So we're going to see what emotions are coming up. I want to say be kind to yourself. Your best is good enough. So rejection wounds coming up, overwhelm coming up. We get rejection. So many of us have had to face rejection. What I do want to say is rejection is always God's protection. Anything that is denied you is just not meant for you, right? And so there is likely going to be some type of triggering event over the coming days to make you realize how strong and beautiful and amazing you truly are. So this triggering event might even be a rejection, which will cause somebody to go into a state of reflection because somebody's been in a state of vanity, ego, maybe comparing themselves to others when there's a need to look at you for who you are in the mirror because you're all beautiful inside and out. If you want to welcome abundance into your life, rejection might be part of the pathway. But I do feel somebody here has been struggling with guilt, shame, depression. And I do feel there's going to be a shocking event that is going to get somebody moving towards this state of deep inner self-reflection. And so somebody here has been struggling. Maybe when it comes to making a decision for what is best for them. What I want to say is this life is yours for the taking. And so rest, release this energy of overwhelm and go into reflection because who is looking back at you in the mirror is important. Reflect on self-love because we can't keep playing into these ego-based cycles of self-abuse and lust. We have to believe that we are worthy. And so when you give your energy to people that don't have your best interest at heart, it will drain you. A lustful connection is built out of ego, right? And I do feel it is a cycle of self-abuse. So where do you need to start beginning to speak with yourself with kind words? Because you have to believe in you. Nobody else is going to believe in you if you don't believe in you. And so love is here for the taking. But you do have to love yourself first. And you do have to know that you are worthy of everything you desire in your life. And you have to release this energy of resentment. You have to commit to you. You have to commit to finding yourself in your own reflection if you want to release conflict and resentment. So I do feel get ready for some grieving over the coming days. Seeing and feeling is healing. Use your intuition to light the pathway. Be kind to yourself. So let's jump in with the tarot. I'm going to cut the deck. And we're going to do a 9-card spread today. So we get the Knight of Pentacles in reversed. And we got the Strength card. So Leo. Somebody here I feel ego. That's ego. Could be ego. But I feel somebody needs to find the strength to leave behind a situation where I feel maybe one or both of you really aren't fully invested. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse really isn't doing the hard work to build something solid, Virgo energy. This could be exposure of a cheating situation because the Knight of Pentacles upright is determined, is loyal, ready to do the hard work. And this is somebody really lackadaisical when it comes to commitment. So we're going to do a 9-card spread. We're going to see what else needs to come through for the collective today. But I do feel somebody here has been losing sleep. They've been resentful, and there is a need to release that. There is a need to release maybe any underlying guilt. I feel like this energy of shock. I just feel shock coming through. So let's do a 9-card spread. Oh, the cards are giving me a little bit of a hard time today. And let's see what else needs to come through. 2 of Pentacles in reverse. There's a realignment. 5 of Pentacles in reverse, coming out of lack mentality. Ace of Swords, and that's the truth. Coming out of a place of lack, healing from an abandonment wound of some sort. 7 of Cups, a little bit of confusion going on there. 4 of Pentacles reverse as to what needs to be released. 3 of Pentacles, in order to maybe move towards a new collaboration. So money's been a factor with all of these pentacles. Time. Maybe somebody's wasted a lot of time holding on to a situation that's been needing to be released. A situation where maybe there's been power struggles, money struggles, a lack of really working together. Yeah, there's going to be something coming to a dead stop. This is bad luck. This is bad news. This is somebody keeping their foot stuck in the wheel of destiny, trying to move somebody forward. This is challenges, delays, and obstacles, blockages, the 2 of Swords, and 5 of Swords, all because of manipulative behavior. Bottom of the deck, this is what's underlying, is this 10 of Cups, with the 5 of Cups and the Fool reversed, which I feel has created a lot of conflict and inner turmoil for somebody. Could be dealing with somebody born the year of the dragon, but somebody's facing their inner dragon, their inner demon, and so I do feel a realignment. Somebody's been juggling for a long time in a situation where I do feel, you know, it's run stale, it's run dry. With the 5 and the 2, we get the 7 in reversed, and so that's water in a dead tree, and ain't that the truth? I feel somebody's really been focused on, you know, making something work where there's been no growth, there's no fertility, it's time to go in a new direction, and somebody's getting honest about releasing some challenges. Then we get this 7 of Cups, and so somebody's been praying, I feel, praying for clarity, praying for truth, asking the angels, what do I do? What do I choose? Where do I go? Maybe going through a period of disillusionment, and the angels are like, this cup right here, this one is for you. And so I feel a huge release after somebody realizes where it is they need to go with the 4 of Pentacles. So within the next 4 days, there is going to be the release of a contract, I feel, in order to maybe step into a new commitment, a new collaboration. Something is coming to a dead stop. There's blockages, and I feel the block has been, I don't want to feel this pain. We get the 2 and the 5, so we can add it or subtract it, and we get 3 of Swords, or we get 7 of Swords. There's dishonesty here. Somebody's not being honest. The 7 of Swords is lying, cheating, stealing, manipulation. The 5 of Swords is manipulation. We've got somebody on the ground here and somebody here calling all the shots. We got somebody that thinks they're in control of a situation. I feel there's a lot of self-deception here. There's a lack of honesty. And I feel 2 people blocking somebody from moving forward, possibly. But I feel somebody just can't take this anymore. And so somebody needs to feel all of these feelings. And I do feel the block really is a foolish decision in the past, where somebody walked away from ultimate contentment, happily ever after, that 10 of Cups, right? A spiritual union. And then we get the 5 of Cups. So somebody's really been sitting in a pool of regret over some spilled cups. Somebody's been in a period of depression, soul suppression, grieving over a missed opportunity, feeling very, very foolish, feeling like a sacred fool. And I do feel self-love is going to be needed. If you notice on this 5 of Cups, all the cups are spilled over. Well, we got 3 spilled. We got 1 completely upside down and 1 upright. And so I feel somebody didn't accept this Ace of Cups in the past. The 10 does go back around to 1. And I feel somebody like walked away from a perfect match. And so I do feel get ready to face some conflicts. This could even lead to a job loss. But I do feel somebody is all done investing in a power struggling dynamic. Could be with a Scorpio. It doesn't have to be. But death does symbolize rebirth, renewal. But we do have to let the old die away first. And so I do feel somebody's really been losing sleep, struggling in the mind space, being haunted by spirit, haunted by the past. And I do feel judgment. That's like an awakening energy. And so somebody kind of has to face some karmic repercussions here is what I'm feeling before they can take those steps forward in the direction they've been guided to go in and come out of this state of reflection. So somebody's been going through a period of self-development, reflection, and they've been stuck in that energy for quite some time, trying to release a dead-end situation with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. But I do see somebody moving on from an unrequited love situation here. So let's take a deeper look at this Four of Pentacles. Six of Cups reversed. A loveless situation for sure. Knight of Wands reversed. Somebody that's not very committed. And the Devil reversed. So we're releasing these toxic trauma bonds. Definitely could be dealing with a Scorpio or a Capricorn. Doesn't have to be. But somebody's been dancing with the devil for a very long time. And it's kind of time to release this, right? The Knight of Wands in reverse could be dealing with the fire sign, and the Six of Cups in reverse. So releasing, once again, a loveless situation that was rooted in some unhealthy childhood patterns, likely due to a trauma response, right? And so coming out of confusion, seeing clearly now, there's no more working things out and going towards self-love. Oh my God, going towards self-love. That's the big kahuna. So you can't really commit to another until you commit to yourself. And that requires a lot of authentic honesty with who you are. And I do think a lot of emotions. But there is going to be some type of revelation. And maybe there's going to be a masculine needing to speak some truth. But I feel getting honest. Getting rigorously honest. Maybe about a past situation where somebody snuck away. Or there was some stealing or some cheating. But I do feel if you want that legacy for the future, you're going to have to shed the old to bring in the new. So there is crossroads energy coming through. And there is an opportunity to build with this beautiful Empress who I feel is about to reap her harvest, Taurus, Libra. But somebody has a big decision to make. For sure. Maybe somebody hurt this Empress in the past. The Tens here. Somebody definitely did something foolish. And I feel this Empress knows. She knows the truth. She knows the truth. Let's take a look at this Five of Swords. There's going to be some change. Somebody's been playing into ego here for sure. We get the Strength. We get the Knight of Swords and the Seven of Wands. The Page of Pentacles reverse the Knight of Pentacles. So I do feel somebody's really struggled with releasing a situation because it was a bad investment. I think because maybe they did put a lot of time and effort into this situation. But I do feel somebody is ready to face some opposition here. They're finding their spiritual strength and fortitude, I think, to quickly depart a situation is what I'm feeling with the Knight of Swords. And so I do feel a lot of aggressive communication. But this communication is going to clear the air and bring something back into balance, where I do feel in the past there was some third-party interference. And so this Three of Cups, we got the three women in the water, we got the bride right there, and we got that full moon energy. So I do feel, once again, self-love. Self-love is needed here. I do feel maybe somebody needs to come back and beg for some forgiveness. But I feel this energy of some type of aggressive communication is going to clear the fog over the coming days and bring something back into balance that really has haunted somebody for quite some time. Get ready to meet your maker is what I want to say. Get ready for a final judgment call to be made. I also feel this Kundalini being activated in order for somebody to take action. Another energy of taking action, I think, seeking an apology. So let's get a couple last cards with the Crystal Stone deck. We'll see. We'll see what last message needs to come through. I'm sorry about the cough, guys. This virus really has like held on for like the last month. So I'm hoping we're in the home stretch that this is gonna be out the window in a couple more days, especially before Christmas. But what crystals would be beneficial? We get sodalite and we get amethyst. And so, yeah, somebody's life really is a train wreck, I want to say. Somebody's life has gone way off track. Could be a Pisces, doesn't have to be. But I do feel somebody's been secretly doing something within a living space. And I think playing the victim. It's time to give up that victim routine. I'm going to talk about that more when Chiron goes direct. Can't keep playing the victim, right? We have to face this once and for all. And so with the sodalite, Virgo energy, interesting. Virgo and Pisces are yin-yang. And so somebody needs to really start planning to make a big decision. I feel a cycle here is pretty much 99% finished, but yet somebody wants to go back around one more cycle is what I'm feeling. So meditation, somebody has self-abandoned here. And it's kind of time to surrender to your intuition because somebody knows that there's a problem here that's never going to reach resolution. And somebody wants to get to a much deeper existence and experience. And so bottom of the deck, smoky quartz. What I want to say is arm yourself in that spiritual armor because these energies are not going to be easy. If you want to get to that good place in your life, you have to stop looking at the glass as half empty. Somebody here is definitely fallen prey to an emotional vampire. And I do feel somebody's getting ready to break free and embark on a spiritual journey. So get ready to release that ball and chain around your neck because somebody's been dancing with the devil, been dealing with all kinds of difficult people that have been put on their path to test their spiritual truth. And I do feel somebody's getting ready to go with their gut. And that's what I got, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you'd like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you.